Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I bought something quite rare. Don't get too excited, it's nothing fancy, but it is rare. What I've bought is a 2013 Chevrolet Aveo, or Aveo. Aveo? I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because about 6 people bought them in the whole world, so nobody needed to learn how to say it properly. What's funny actually is that I've just got back from Bermuda, and when my grandpa picked me up from the airport, he was in, guess what? A Chevrolet Aveo. And I don't think I'd ever had one or even been in one. So when I was offered this one yesterday, I thought, well, that's funny, isn't it? I've literally just got back and been in one. Couldn't really say no at that point. And the other good thing is, it's only done 28,000 miles, and it's been described to me as being quite clean. So I'm hoping there's some profit in this. Now, I've paid £2,400 for it, so it sounds quite cheap, doesn't it, for a 2013 low mileage little petrol 5-door car? The trouble is, whenever I buy something like this that's a little bit unknown, same with SsangYong, same with any other sort of lesser known brand, people never seem to search them out. When you look for a cheap small car, you straight away look for a Renault Clio or a Vauxhall Corsa. You don't think, let me try and buy a rebadged Daewoo. Underneath the Chevrolet bow tie, it is of course a Daewoo. Well, General Motors. So I imagine it'll share lots of parts with the equivalent Vauxhalls. I'm just praying it's in decent condition and it's reliable, and there should be some profit here. I'm thinking this is a £4,000 car, maybe a tad more. Anyway, without further ado, let's go and have a look, shall we? Let's go and take this Chevy to the levee. Sorry, that was the main reason I bought this car, just to get in some Don McLean jokes. Well, we're here. It's silver, it's got alloys, so it's a high spec. That's not a bad looking car, you know, and I think I have had a couple of those in the past. The last one I had was a black one. I think, you know, it's just brand recognition or brand awareness, because you'd have thought that they'd have sold more of those, really. It isn't a bad looking thing. It's quite tidy, it's very dirty, but it is quite tidy. We've got a private plate on it, DM51DMM, damn. No, I can do something with that, I think. The position of the whole front plate and the whole front grille is a little bit low, actually. Looks a bit imbalanced. Right, as always then, let me do a vehicle history check using Car Vertical. So it's really easy to do. All you do is go to carvertical.com, and then you type in the reg or the VIN number. So in this case it is Delta Mike 51 Delta Mike Mike. Check vehicle. Now it's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike. If you want to save yourself 20% with each and every check that you do, use my promo code HIGHPEAK. This will tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. And it's a really thorough check. So it checks databases in 35 different countries, and it checks hundreds of millions of cars. Right, okay, we've got an issue here, because DM51DMM, which is a private plate because it's a 2013 car, not a 2001 car, is currently registered to a Mini Cooper. So I'm guessing the owner of this has bought a Mini Cooper, traded this in, and then taken his plate with him. So this won't work. What else can we do then? Oh, we've got Bosch wiper blades. Right, I need the VIN number, or the VIN. Sorry, that's like saying PIN number, isn't it? Or ATM machine. Let's get the VIN. Tyres look a little bit low on air. What a beautiful day it is today. Right, first up then, we've got 2 keys. One flip key, which is like the same you'd get on a Corsa D, but I can see right through to the circuit board. And then another remote key as well. So I think I'll go to Keyfax over in Duckerfield and get that reshelled. First things first, then let me continue this Car Vertical check. So we're going to need this chassis. The chassis, as Americans say. Incorrectly, I might add. This is going to be tricky now. I can't read that. KL, is that? 1TF. 6. Checking vehicle. While this loads then, hope this comes up as a Chevrolet. Oh, it has. Success. I'll wait for this to load then. Right. Let's do the old tyre check then, shall we? We've got a Potentum. This is new on me. A Potentum UHP event. Look at this. On about 3 mil. Brake discs look a little bit ropey as well. On the back we've got a Nexon. I've heard of Nexon. We've got drums on the back. That's quite a good tyre actually. Plenty of tread on that bad boy. Around the back, looks very tidy. It isn't a bad looking thing, is it? We've got rear sensors. It's an LTZ model. which means it's got alloys and sensors, I guess. Up there we've got the Chevrolet bow tie, Action Man bow tie. It's quite stylish, isn't it? If you just need a little run around, not too bad. Odd little mark here or there, which I can touch in. Have we got a matching Nexon? Oh, we do. Matching Nexon on this side, so that's good. What about a Potentum? Oh, we've got a matching Potentum Event UHP on the front. Look at this. And you all think I buy rubbish. And look at that, perfect timing. The car vertical check's ready. So that is a Chevrolet Aveo, or Aveo, and it's all clear. Perfect. Never been stolen. Last known mileage at the last MOT was August last year. That was 26,000, and I'm told it's done 28. So I'm guessing this is an older person that hasn't used it very much. Average market price for such a vehicle is 3,600. I was hoping it was going to be worth about 4. I think if I can get this looking right, I shall ask for. Chevrolet Aveo, petrol. All right, let's learn a little bit about its history. So this is all the MOTs. It's failed, it's passed, it's failed. Ah, right. So its proper reg is Mike Delta 13, Foxtrot Charlie Foxtrot. Foxtrot Oscar. So I need to order some plates, don't I, for that? You all know I like changing plates anyway, so I was probably going to do that anyway as a matter of course. Let's have a look around it then. That Range Rover key won't open it, will it? This is a bit of a weird design, isn't it? How this is sort of open. You've got the individual lights there. It's not offensive. Looks all right. We've got front fog lamps. And inside, stinks. It just smells a bit grubby, a bit dirty. Doesn't smell of dogs or anything. It's nice and warm in here. So the sun beating down on it. We've got hidden handles up there like a Duke. And yeah, I mean, this will clean up well. Back seats don't look like they've had much action. But a shopping list there, consistent with my theory that it's somebody older. Have we got any goodies? Not so far. So I think it wants a fresh set of mats, a very good valet. And there is a car here, people, isn't there? We've even got, look at this down here. A detachable ashtray. We've got 3 cup holders. Is there any service history? There's no service book unless it's at the back. Now, years ago in Spain, I had a Chevrolet, what was it called? Oldsmobile did one as well. In the US, it was an Oldsmobile. In Spain, it was a Chevrolet. It'll come to me in a minute. Zac Efron had one at the same time. It's why I got quite excited about it. Anyway. Nothing there. Oh, we've got USB and auxiliary. This would be quite a good, or quite a cool little first car, wouldn't it? This is all standard General Motors stuff, isn't it? I remember picking up a Corvette, no it wasn't a Corvette, a Camaro from LAX airport once. I'd booked a Mustang, and then by the time I walked out to the car park, somebody was just getting in the Mustang, they'd rented it, they'd double booked it. So I went back in and he said, oh, okay, we'll upgrade you to a Camaro SS, is that all right? Yeah, of course. And I remember getting in it, being excited, and then seeing this. It had the exact same buttons as this, and probably steering wheel actually. Yeah, anyway. So no history then, which is disappointing. I was told it had history as well, so it might still be with the main dealer. Let's have a look under the bonnet, shall we? That, I imagine, is the same engine that goes into Corsas and Chevrolet Sparks and all that sort of stuff. They usually leak oil from the rocker cover, but that looks quite dry actually. Let's check for mayo. Quite difficult to do this one-handed, but I'll give it a whirl. There we go. For some reason my left hand's stronger. That looks all right. There's a tiny little bit around there. That's just condensation. That's fine. We're all good. That looks clean actually. That looks very clean. This has had a recent oil change. You know when you're buying a car and there's not always history, you have to be a bit of a detective. So you've got to look at things like this. How clean the oil is, whether it's got decent wiper blades on it. which this one does actually. They're a little bit green, but they're okay. There's green around the whole car actually. Some masking tape there and what looks like, I hope it's not, what looks like a toilet seat cover. We've got a drawer there of some description. There we go. Nope, nothing in there. Right, electric windows ×4. Who'd have thought it? Manchester B there, you see that? Perfect. My gas struts, we've got plates. They're the original plates and that saved me £15. I shall fit those. Locking wheel nuts down there. More shopping lists. Right, well this is all good. It just wants a very, very thorough clean. We even got the parcel shelf, so I don't need to buy one. It's just very green everywhere and very grubby. But I'm confident it will clean up all right. Should we fire her up? 28,000 miles. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. That's a bit lumpy actually. Can you hear that? It isn't idling right. That's only running on. We've got a cylinder down here, folks. That could well be, my engine light's not on though, that's weird. That could well be spark plugs, coil pack, that's where I'll start. Oh, we've got aircon. That's a result, isn't it? And we've got a fresh cigarette lighter that's never been used. But sadly, we've got a very lumpy, misfiery engine. Yeah, that's no good. Should we take this out for a run and see how far I get in it before I have to call the AA? Okay then, first time in the old Chevy. My lumpy, misfiring Chevy. Doesn't sound good, this. Got an armrest here, look at that. You can tell we're in the LTZ model, can't you? No expense spared. Try the old aircon then, see if that works. Oh, that sounds terrible. I think we're down to 2 now. And we've got an error code. So General Motors tend to do this. It just says code 16 and then a picture of a book with an eye on it. Let's Google what code 16 is, shall we? In a second. This is terrible. My seat is vibrating like you wouldn't believe. Code 16 Chevrolet. Right, code 16 is an ECM engine control module voltage fault. Oh, now right, lovely. We've got a flashing engine light, traction light. Let me get a video of this for you all. We've got an engine light flashing, traction control light, and code 16. Don't I know how to pick them, eh? That sounds terrible. And it's crying out for front brake discs, or I've got a caliper sticking or something. Oh dear. That's not good at all, is it? But my aircon works. Gives with one hand, takes with the other. I don't want to sound naive now, but I am fairly confident that this will be a simple fix. I mean, it could be a timing chain or something, but I don't think it is. I think it is spark plugs, coil packs. I think we'll do that. Oh, there's my feather. Could have let me out. Telling me my dad didn't know that was me. I've got a GoPro stuck to my bonnet. Oh yeah, we've got no power. My foot is right to the board there, and it's like being in my Berlingo. 0 to 60 in a week and a half. No, I think we can fix this. So, if I can set myself a budget of £500, give me 500 quid, I'll have this spun around for you all, hopefully. It doesn't need an awful lot, does it? As long as we can get it running right. Fresh set of mats, fresh set of plates, which have been provided already. Saves me 15 quid. Proper valet, some touch-ins on the body, and we've got a nice retail car for somebody. People are looking. Sounds like I'm in a steam locomotive. Well, there's probably no point me going much further in this because I'm probably just doing it more harm than it is attracting and turning some heads. all aboard the Hogwarts Express. I don't think this has ever been cleaned, you know. It's full of dust and dead skin. I must also chase the service history because I was told it had full, so I need to track that down. Right, I think that'll do for now then, because I don't want to be stranded in this when it conks out. So I'm going to carefully drive this down to my mechanics, and then I'll catch up with you later on, hopefully with good news. Hopefully I haven't had a massive overspend, but we'll see. And it drives all right apart from that. Apart from the engine, drives all right, and the brakes, drives all right. Didn't even check the radio station. I bet it's classic. Heart, right. Bit of Madcon. Saw him once in Malaga, a charity event. Right, anyway, I'll catch up with you later. See you in a bit. And we're back in the cheap Chevy Aveo. And to be honest with you, I got this one a little bit wrong. I have massively overspent. In hindsight, this car needed a little bit too much spending on it. In fact, saying that, I'm fairly sure there's still a little bit of profit left in it. Not quite sure exactly how much yet, but I still think there is a little bit. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics for a service and an MOT, and if you remember, it had a number of issues. It had a warning code on the dash, it was running kind of rough, it was a bit lumpy, the brakes were making funny noises. I kind of knew at that point that I'd have a bit of a big spend, and I was right. My mechanic called me a couple of days later and went through everything that was wrong with it, and in addition to the things I already knew about, it also needed some other bits and bobs. Various bulbs, a few suspension arms, things like that. So when I went to pick it up, I was presented with quite a large bill. Nearly 4 figures, in fact. Anyway, from there, I picked it up and it was all running like a Swiss watch, so I dropped it off with the lads at Tameside Detailing for a thorough clean. If you recall, it was quite a dirty car, this. I don't think it had been cleaned for a very long time. But, look at it now. It's cleaned up really well. I'm quite impressed with it. Then I went over to a locksmith's called Keyfax over in Duckenfield, and I got one of the keys reshelled. In fact, hang on a second, shouldn't really do this, but it was that one. Which has made all the difference, to be honest. I just think when I present those keys to a customer now, it just looks a bit more cared for, a bit more loved. It no longer looks overused and underappreciated. Nobody wants that now, do they? I got it back to work this morning and photographed it, and I've written my advert. I've got this advertised for 4,495, 4.5 grand, which I think looks like good value, to be honest, when you consider it's only done 28,000 miles and it looks as tidy as this. Now, if you remember, I only paid £2,400 for it, so on the face of it, I've got quite a healthy gross profit margin. But gross profit margin means nothing, does it? It's all about what you net. The net profit margin, that's what I care about. Let's see then, shall we? If I started off with a £2,100 gross profit margin, let's see how much I'm likely to net. As always, then I'm going to park up somewhere scenic. I'll talk you through my costs. And here we'll do nicely then. We really need to resurface this lay-by. Right, let me get my calculator out. Start, stop. I thought my engine died. So, I paid £2,400 for the car. What else? The key shell was £30. The valet was £70. That's 2.5. Here's the biggie though. The bill at my mechanics. Right, so it had an MOT test fee, that was £40. Fit the reg plates. I was quite lazy on this occasion, I didn't bother, I just sent them down. Bulbs, various bulbs. Ignition coil, £89.54. Plugs, £25.60, that sorted out the rough running. Oil filter, £8.50, oil £28, rear wiper blade, £12, 2 front suspension arms, £76. Water pump, that was leaking, £72.47. That's quite pricey, isn't it, for a water pump? Usually they're about 30 quid. Offside front suspension arm, £70.40. And, I'd forgotten about this. This is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it, the old Chevy? Exhaust section with flexi, that was £95.06. Plus the labour of £2.50 takes my total to, just gulp there, 927 and 44 pence. That means then this car currently owes me 3427 44 pence. I put 20 quid's worth of fuel in it as well. I'll count that. So it owes me just under 3.5 grand. Now, like I say, it's on at 4.5, so if I get my 4.5 grand for it, it would leave me a profit of around £1,000 net. Net-ish, because there's a VAT margin to come out of that as well. But then there's some VAT to claim back on that. £147 to be precise, so it kind of offsets that. So more or less £1,000 profit if I get 4.5 grand. And I should get 4.5 grand for it. I think it looks like quite good value for money, really. And it's a bit more interesting, isn't it, than a Corsa or a Fiat Punto or something. It's a little bit more unusual. Right then, guys, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Let's not forget TikTok. I'll leave the links below. No parking sensors work anyway. Lovely stuff. Right, see you next time. See ya.